Hey guys, and welcome back to another video here with the Aussie Seafarer. Today we're checking out that thing behind me, and so that's the navigation bridge, so let's go check it out. Oh, that's a lot of stairs. So here we are on the navigation bridge. As you can see, there's actually two main areas. The main navigation bridge down the bottom. The area on top is also part of the navigation bridge. So let's go check that out and see what's up there. Welcome to the Monkey Island. Up here we can see all the way around the ship. Radar mast. We can see both radars operating. The reason this is included in part of the navigation bridge is because of this piece of equipment here, which is the magnetic compass. So let's take the canvas off that and have a look. So here we can see the magnetic compass. It consists of the main compass itself and some soft iron spheres on either side, and then on the front this is the Flinders bars, and it's all used for correcting the magnetic compass against the deviations inflicted by the metal structure of the ship. Take the lid off, we can see inside there's the magnetic compass. So right now we're heading a magnetic course of 298. That varies as the ship also varies in its heading. On either side of the main radar mast you can see two different sized radar antennas. So one is the S-band radar and one is the X-band radar. They each run a different wavelength, so the antenna has to be a different size. The S-band there we can see on the left is the larger one, and the X-band we can see on the right is the smaller antenna. On top here we have the VDR emergency release buoy, or voyage data recorder. It takes all the information during the navigation watch, much like the black box on an aeroplane, and records everything for a certain time period. And in the event of an accident on the ship, they can recover this and find out exactly what went wrong. It is a beautiful day today. Check out this weather. We're crossing the equator today, and the temperature is quite warm. I think it's 32 degrees today. Anyway, let's go down and check out the main navigation bridge. Hey guys, and welcome to the navigation bridge. So here behind me you can see there's a vast array of equipment here on the navigation bridge. So come with me and I'll show you some of the equipment. So the main navigation bridge itself can be divided up into three main areas. GMDSS station over here, the chart table over here, and the navigation console on the forward part. So let's start off in the GMDSS area. The GMDSS console stands for Global Maritime Distress and Safety Systems. The main purpose of this console is to report distress messages in an emergency for our vessel or another vessel. The other main purpose is to receive
safety, weather and navigation related information. That comes through on these satellite C communication systems. We have one on each side, and they're just duplicates of the same system as a backup. We also have an MFHF radio, which stands for medium frequency and high frequency radio communication. The top part is DSC, digital selective calling, which can be used to communicate with other vessels and shore stations digitally without actually calling them by voice. The lower half here is the voice communication or the telecommunication section. Here we have the Navtex receiver. That's used in a similar way to the Inmarsat-C system, and that can be used to receive safety, weather and navigation related information. Here we have the ship's satellite phone. The captain can use this to communicate with shore personnel in emergency. As we go along, we can see other navigational tools. Here we have the ship's echo sounder that we can see recording depths. This is the ship's speed log that uses a Doppler style system to record the ship's speed through the water. We have a GPS repeater for logging down the ship's position in the logbook, ship's barometer, the ship's clock, and this is what we call a weather fax, which is a fax system to receive weather charts in certain areas. This is our secondary ectus that we use for planning routes and passages. One of the most important pieces of equipment on any ship is the compass. We have a magnetic compass we can view through this periscope, and we have a gyro compass situated in this unit here. On this ship we actually have two gyro compasses, number 1 and number 2. They give a digital readout and they can be viewed from each of the repeaters. Gyro compass repeater here, another gyro compass repeater here, and then one on either bridge wing. Here we have the ship's gyro compass repeater. Undo these two screws, take the cover off, and here we can see the starboard side gyro compass indicator. We can use this for taking sights of celestial bearings such as the sun, the moon and stars, as well as terrestrial bearings like landmarks, mountains and lighthouses. We'll put the cover back on, head back inside. Here in the centre of the ship we can see the ship's centre gyro compass repeater. On top we have what we call the azimuth ring. This azimuth ring can be used this way to take a bearing of a terrestrial or celestial object. And when used this way, it takes the reflection of the sun and channels it or magnifies it into this right angle mirror here and reflects that down onto the repeater below to give you a more accurate bearing of the sun. This azimuth ring can be lifted off and moved to the repeater on the starboard side of the vessel or on the port side of the vessel. Next major piece of equipment we can see here is the ship's helm. This is the hand steering operation that operates the rudder from port to starboard. We can steer the rudder here by pointing to how many degrees we want. For 20 degrees to port, we turn 20 degrees to port, and then we can see on the rudder angle indicator showing 20 degrees to port. Here we have the ship's telegraph for controlling the speed of the engine, autopilot for controlling the ship's heading while underway, the general information display, the ship's telephone for communicating within the ship, and a public address or PA system, wiper control system and steering gear motor start and stop buttons. Down the bottom here we have dimmer controls for all our navigation equipment. It's electric clock, ship's anemometer or wind indicator, main engine RPM indicator, speed indicator, inclinometer, gyro compass repeater, rate of turn indicator, depth sounder and rudder angle indicator. Further to our GMDSS station in the aft, we have a VHF radio. We actually have 2 of these on each ship, and these can be used for communicating with other vessels or shore stations at a close range. At all times we monitor VHF channel 16, as this is the emergency communication station. Any distress signals will be broadcasted on this station, and then we can act if we are the closest or most able vessel in the vicinity. At this station here on the port side of the bridge, we have 2 GPS receivers, number 1 and number 2. They're both the same systems, it's just a duplicate in case of a failure of one of them. Now that we know how to control the ship, let's see where our course is. This here is our ECDIS, Electronic Chart Display Information System. So it's an electronic version of a paper chart. Also has many alarms to prevent collisions and grounding. On the ECDIS we can see our position relative to the course line. We can see other vessels. We can see the soundings or the depths of the ocean. Heading, speed through the water, course over ground and speed over ground. The ship's geographical position by GPS, and then other route information. As we zoom out, we start to see where we are in relation to other landmarks. So currently you can see we are north of Papua New Guinea. A vital piece of equipment that we have on the bridge is the radar. The radar shows anything that's in the vicinity on the water surface around us. In this case there's just the one vessel on our starboard side. The radar is displayed in a north-up mode, so north is up, and our course 298 is this direction here. On the port side here we have a routing chart. Routing charts give the indication of the best routes to follow over a greater ocean passage. Here we can see Australia, and all these lines run all the way up to places like Singapore, Vietnam, China, Philippines. This also gives you indications of expected tides and currents. This particular chart is the Indian Ocean chart, routing chart for Indian Ocean for December. This is our VDR, or Voyage Data Recorder. It records all information from all our communications, including VHF communications, Inmarsat at sea communications, everything from the ECDIS, everything from the radar, everything from the autopilot, the gyro compass, heading, even right up in the ceiling we have microphones that record all conversations that happen on the bridge. Parachute flares, line throwing appliances, immersion suits, life jackets, and first aid kit. Here we have alphanumeric flags. We have flags for each country around the world. We have a toilet on the bridge so that the navigator never has to leave the bridge. And then here we have a start button and stop button for our GS, bilge and fire pumps, as well as our emergency fire pump, a general alarm, emergency fire alarm, emergency distress buttons,
close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Alright guys, that's it for today's video on the Navigation Bridge tour. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks guys!